Tente de alguma maneira fazer alguém feliz. Aperte a mão, dê um abraço, um passo em sua direção. Aproxime-se sem cerimônia, dê um pouco de calor de seu coração. Assente-se bem perto e deixe-se ficar muito tempo ou pouco tempo. Não conte o tempo de dar, deixe o sorriso acontecer. E não se espante se a pessoa mais feliz for você. When we think Brazil, we think soccer, samba, carnaval, Copacabana, Christ the Redeemer, green and yellow, Amazon jungle, the favelas, crime, drugs, poverty, political corruption. But do we ever take a step back to analyze the socio-cultural details and implications of these stereotypes? My experience in Rio de Janeiro gave me a massive culture shock through my grateful volunteer work with Theatre of the Oppressed, and I'm enthused to share my discoveries now. In theater, two things are always true. Acting is reacting, and you never truly learn until you truly do. Knowing this, my program directors took me immediately into a favela to be part of a workshop with volunteer teams who volunteered at a local hospital as a means of distracting themselves from the troubled favela in which they lived, Da Maré. After playing a couple theater games with them to loosen up, we integrated serious questions and found out about the complicated issues present at the favela after the local pacification efforts from the military police, which encompasses a lot of aggression into the lives of those teens. See, Theatre of the Oppressed was born from social need in Latin America. Its founder, Augusto Boal, worked meticulously to demonstrate social oppression found in political corruption and even within personally imposed violence such as domestic violence. While experimenting, he found that allowing audiences to become part of his plays had a much more powerful effect on society. After learning about this specific approach to Theatre of the Oppressed, which Boal refers to as forum theater, the possibilities were endless to help in Rio de Janeiro. Part of my volunteer work was centered around helping at a psychiatric hospital where improvised theater scenes and games were used as a form of therapy for psychiatric patients whose daily routines had become almost mundane. Being part of this internationally recognized theater company, these patients have the opportunity to perform in Spain in the next year, which is something many of these patients never dreamed of doing, let alone leave the country. Another part of the volunteer process was to learn how to conduct workshops on our own. The person in charge of running a Theatre of the Oppressed workshop is called a Coringa, or a joker as the one found on the deck of cards. This individual, like a joker, is in charge of opening people's eyes to their oppressive reality through parody and comedic leadership skills and approaches such as theater games.
Além do venha, que é muito venha.
Muito venha, muito chamado, né?
Muito chamado.
Edgar.
Eu vejo o Steph aprendendo muito, assim, tudo que ouvia, assim,
depois...
falou, não falou.
Ah,
sim, aprendendo.
Tô aprendendo, né? Algo
transformando,
mais?
sim.
Tinha alguma coisa distoante ou reforçou mesmo essa ideia de possibilidades, pontes, caminhos? Alguma coisa distoante ou não?
Distante dessa?
É isso. Então é isso. Palmas para esse grupo.
In order to better my skills as a joker, we were trained and allowed to conduct workshops of our own with local members of Rio de Janeiro who volunteered their time. What I learned in quote-unquote joking with people is something I still carry with me as as a personal achievement which helped some people find solutions to their personal problems. Being so close to the solution process, I realized how powerful Theater of the Oppressed can be. Since its creation a few decades ago, groups have sprouted from this company to change their own worlds. Groups like the ones created by the teens of the Favela da Maré have started using this theater as a means to educate people about adolescent sentiment within the troubled communities. Other groups like Marias do Brasil have formed out of maids that have migrated from northern Brazil and whose labor abuse plays have enacted laws in Brazil to protect domestic employment rights in the recent years. I'd like to thank Austin College and the Global Outreach Fellowship Program for letting me rediscover the power of theater. Overall, Theater of the Oppressed aims to make this world better, one scene at a time.